good afternoon, and welcome to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. I am your host, Kathya Davis, and of course, I'll be with you until 2 o'clock. So amazing to be with you today, May 16, 2026, which makes it 26 days from the beginning of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, which will kick off on June 11 at the Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. And of course, the tournament is going to be the biggest World Cup yet, featuring a 48 team format with 104 matches played across Canada, Mexico, and the United States. And of course, as we get closer to the World Cup, we'll start our official World Cup countdown. But what I mean, we're still excited. There are a lot of things that would have happened leading up to the World Cup, or that continues to happen leading up to the World Cup. But guess what? That not gonna stop ball from play. One thing I can tell you, everything will go through all these issues, all the concerns and the ticket prices and the this and the that and all of that. Once June 11 lands and that referee whistle blows, trust me when I say that all of that will go through the door. We also, in our World Cup lead up, will get to talk to the Jamaican referee who is heading to the World Cup, Ocean Nation. So, we'll get to talk to Mr. Nation before he leaves the island. And just, we have a lot of things packed up for your World Cup content coming up. But before we even get to the World Cup content, we have so many other things going on. Today was the first Diamond League in Shanghai, China. So we'll talk about that later in the show. The Jamaica Premier League, before I get there, the Jamaica Women's Premier League semifinals, that is on today. The Jamaica Premier League semifinals, first leg, that is on tomorrow at the National Stadium. Yes. Then we're going to talk about the WSL because, of course, we have to highlight Khadija Bonishaw and her amazing Golden Boot win 3 times this season, for the 3 times now, by the way, guys. It's not rocket science. Come on. Might I say the great Khadija Bonishaw, yeah? We have some time to talk about her, a little, just to talk about her season, and the stuff that she would have been through. As a matter of fact, I do think that this is the first season Manchester City has been able to. We've been able to go throughout the season, if I'm not mistaken, without Shaw being injured. So that is also like an amazing feat as well. So we'll talk about that a little later in the show. We're also going to talk about, as I said, the Jamaica Premier League semifinals is going to be coming up tomorrow. So we're going to be having a more in-depth conversation with someone from the PFJL. So you want to stay tuned for that. Yes. And of course, the English Premier League is still going on, but this morning was the FA Cup final, and yeah, okay. Manchester City, congratulations. They've now won a trophy for the season. And it is obvious by now, written in the stars, now that Chelsea will end the season without a trophy. Hard for me to say, honestly. So hard for me to say. But we also have the basketball playoffs going on. Spurs, they're through. So, it's quite a lot going on, but I'm hoping that we can pack all of this within the hour that we have today. Yes, people. Hello. We only have 1 hour. You only have 1 hour to talk to me. I wonder if anybody has a Jamaica Premier League side or the team that they support that's still in the league. I definitely know that my team is still in the league. Big up Portmore United. Big up Coach Rudolph Austin and all the staff and players, owners of Portmore United. you you support, everybody supports a side, right? And of course, while I'm not able to show my support fully because of the journalist hat that I wear, you guys know that I'm a very very big fan of Portmore United. I dare not to say the only team in the Sunshine City because I don't want the racing fans to come for me. But yes, so we're gonna jump we're gonna jump right into things right here on Sports Talk on the family station, Love 101 FM. Ah boy, ah boy, ah boy. All right. So first, let's get ourselves caught up. Going back now to something I said earlier, Manchester City, they would have won this morning, early this morning too, early this morning. And I'm like, oh my God, that was like 9 o'clock this morning, right? Manchester City, they won the FA Cup, um, uh, getting that goal from Semenyo in the 72nd minute. And of course, that means that they are one trophy of one. I mean, it was a game, I would say, dominated by Manchester City. There were some saves that the Chelsea goalkeeper would have put together. I mean, all in all, it was a good game for Manchester City. I can't say the same for Chelsea, right? I will not be able to say the same for Chelsea. But all in all, Manchester City, they are winners of the FA Cup. So congratulations to them. All right. Now let's talk about the English Premier League. As you know, we are now two games away from, or 2 match days away from the culmination of the Premier League. So tomorrow, which will be match day number 37, or rather round 37, because not all the games will be played tomorrow. So let's just get through that quickly. Starting this round number 37 yesterday, Aston Villa, they were 4-2 winners over Liverpool. And what that does mean for Aston Villa is that they were able to secure their place in playing European football for next season. Then Manchester United and Nottingham Forest, they will play tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. Jamaica time. Brentford will play Newcastle. Leeds will play Brighton. Everton will play Sunderland. Wolves will play Fulham. Newcastle plays West Ham. Arsenal plays Burnley, but that happens on Monday. Bournemouth will play Man City. That happens on Tuesday, as well as Chelsea will play Tottenham. That game also happens on Tuesday, and that will close out round number 37 of 38 in the English Premier League. And of course, the finale of the English Premier League will happen on May 24. And by the time we get to around midday, we will know exactly who the Premier League winners will be. It's still close going, as you know. Arsenal, after 36 games, they are 79 points, 2 points ahead of Manchester City currently. Manchester United, they're in third on 65 points, followed by Aston Villa, who had their victory yesterday, 62 points. Then Liverpool on 59 points in fifth. That really closes out the teams that will qualify for the Champions League. Then in sixth, the Europa League the team in the qualifying position right now for the Europa League, that's Bournemouth. Brighton, they're in seventh on 53 points. And of course, that would mean Conference League qualification for them. And there's a lot of things going on. We could see up to 9, I believe, or 8 or 9 English Premier League teams playing European football. There's a lot of other things going on why teams will be able to qualify for which competition. All right. And then, of course, the relegation battle is still on in earnest. We know that Burnley and Wolves have been relegated. There's no doubt about that. West Ham, they're currently on the chopping block, but they're 36 points. And of course, just above them in 17th places, Tottenham on 38 points with 2 games to go for the season. So who will stay up and who will go down? We continue to watch that relegation battle. Of course, next week we hope to have a full roundup of the English Premier League, of course, because we'll be heading into the final match day come next weekend. And we're definitely looking forward to that. Just want to tell you in terms of the Women's Super League, Manchester City, they were 4-1 winners today. I have to say that. Have to highlight that Manchester City women's team, they were 4-1 winners today over West Ham. Of course, Khadija Bonishaw having a brace that came in the 57th and 72 minutes of play. So right. That happened in the 57th and 72 minutes of play. And of course, that does mean that Manchester City women would have secured their title, having not won the title since, I believe it's 2016. Yes. So the last time Manchester City women won the title was 10 years ago. And even with the great performance by Khadija Bonishaw over the last 2 prior seasons, this season, they're only able to secure the title this season. And that's just an amazing feat. Manchester City, they finished top of the table in the Women's Super League. Right, and they will automatically qualify for next year's Champions League. The second was Arsenal with 51 points, and Chelsea, who are the defending champions, they finished third. They also secured Champions League qualification on 49 points. In terms of for the women, only one team really gets relegated each season, and that team was the Leicester women's team. Of course, Khadija Bonishaw would have finished the season on definitely over 20 goals. Yeah, definitely over 20 goals for sure. And it was really just an amazing season. 21 goals actually. She finished the season on 21 goals. Mind you, the next closest person to her finished on 10 goals. That, like, if she literally, it's just amazing in terms of the work that she would have done throughout this season. And we just want to congratulate her on winning another Golden Boot. And hopefully Manchester City, I don't want to say this, but because I'm a Chelsea fan, with Chelsea women, but they have the FA Cup final to play against Chelsea. And she could possibly end the season winning 3 trophies, one individual, the Golden Boot, the Premier League, and of course the FA Cup. But with that, we're gonna take our first break right here on Sports Talk. When we come back, we got lots more sports to talk about.
Don't wait for the symptoms start show. HIV test free. Make sure you know. Me take me test. Me get the news. Me take my meds. You can't lose. Family there, support there too. We strong, we whole life I live right through. Live more test the HIV. No, it's not a smooth surely. Me take me test. Me get the news. Me take my meds. Can't lose. Free testing is available at health centers island.
A message by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Want to upgrade your home but don't know where to start? Check Home and Things. We have the deals that will do the work for you. Get unbeatable deals on tiles, bathroom fixtures and vanities, faucets, windows and doors, plus so much more. Enjoy big savings and visit Home and Things, 1215 Providence Way, Iron Shore, Montego Bay, 17 Old Hope Road or 68 and a half Constant Spring Road, and get deals that will work for you. I won't let you go till you bless me.
It's a call to worship. National Workers' Week and Labor Day Church Service. Sunday, May 17, 10 a.m. St. John's Methodist Church, 2 Duke Street, Montego Bay. Let's come together to lift up the workers of Jamaica in prayer.
Let you go till you bless me.
This Sunday, join the nation in a moment of gratitude and unity. The Honorable Olivia Babsy Grange, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, invites you to the National Workers' Week and Labor Day Thanksgiving Church service at the St. John's Methodist Church, 2 Duke Street, Montego Bay, St. James, on Sunday, May 17, 2026, starting at 10 a.m. Come and celebrate the contributions of Jamaica's workers as we give thanks and look forward to a future of service, strength, and national pride. Listen on Love 101 FM as we share this special service with you. That's the National Workers' Week and Labor Day Thanksgiving Church service this Sunday at 10 a.m. live on the family station Love 101. From Jamaica.
All right, good afternoon again, and welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, people. Oh boy, family station, Love 101 FM. My name is Kathya Davis. All right, so before we're talking about football, we're talking about what's in terms of the games coming up tomorrow for the English Premier League, as well as we spoke about the great, fantastic form that Khadija Bunishaw is in, and of course being able to secure help her team, Manchester City, to secure their title, first title in 10 years for Manchester City. But also, this is a third time in a row since moving to Manchester, by the way, Manchester City, that Khadija Bunishaw has won the Golden Boot. And of course, she does have another opportunity to win another trophy when Manchester City will play Chelsea in that FA Cup final. But all that being said, there's still great drama also happening for the Jamaica Premier League. And on the line, I have the operations manager for the PFJL, Mr. Stephen Douglas. Stephen, good afternoon. Stephen? All right. All right, so we wanna try to connect with Stephen. So you wanna stay with us while we try to do that. All right, let's try this. Let's try this again. We have the operations manager for the PFJL on the line. Stephen, are you hearing me now?
Hearing you loud and clear.
There we go.
Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to all our listeners today.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. All right, so we had what I would say interesting quarterfinal playoffs in terms of the games that we had for the Jamaica Premier League. I don't know if you want to talk us through that first before we talk about the semifinals, that the first leg of the semifinals that come up tomorrow.
Yeah, man, sure. We definitely have to make mention of the quarterfinals. Starting from the first leg, it was pretty exciting. We saw where Racing United were down 3-0. They came back for a 3-3 draw. Cavalier were down 2-0. They came back to draw 2-2. And then in the end, both teams who would have rallied back were victorious in the end, winning both second legs by 2-0. So it was a lovely showing for Jamaica football. We saw the goals and we saw the defensive resilience of both teams in the end to secure clean sheets in the second legs. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then of course, as we move on to the semifinals, actually Racing did not win their second leg, but right.
Sorry, not Racing. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry, Racing rallied back, but Portmore United got the better of
them in that second quarterfinal game. Right. Yeah. All right. So let's now talk about the semifinals. But before I talk to you about the semifinals, Stephen, there is a bit of a concern as it relates to how the league is set up. And there's a lot of talks in terms of how the league is set up, why it is that we aren't playing, who finishes at top of the table. They win and then we just stop and then we don't have any playoffs or anything. But I mean, why do we continue with this format having, the playoffs for the top 6 teams?
We always feel those comments, and all of them have their merit. But however, we found a sweet spot with this playoff method. We see where we do get the best of the top teams during this period. You can see with a Cavalier having a not so good season was pretty tough, but during the playoffs they just always raise their levels. So I think the playoffs is just a sweet spot, and it kind of brings everyone together using centralized venues, the best of the best, exposing these players to first world type experiences, so that whenever they make the step to CONCACAF and so forth, it's not too difficult for them to make the transition. So I think we found a sweet spot with the playoff system.
Definitely. All right. So now that we found our sweet spot, we've had the quarterfinals. That's behind us. There are 2 teams that would have automatically qualified for the semifinal, being Montego Bay and Mount Pleasant, having finished first and second on the table. They are now joined by Portmore United and Cavalier. Talk to me now about what we can expect for the first leg of the semifinals tomorrow.
I think what person should expect is just quality football. The 2 most consistent teams over the season now enter the fray. Mount Pleasant finishing on top of the table and Montego Bay United finishing second place. So we now get those 2 teams, high quality teams with top name players. They have I think both teams have a very good mixture of both experience and youth, and not just experience in the local fray. Both teams would have had players playing outside of Jamaica. Montego Bay United with young Jamari Clark, who would have flied this trade in the English Championship for Reading FC, also representing Jamaica under 20 in the past. He's a top quality player, and he's not even an automatic starter. So that just gives you an idea of the quality players that we will have on show tomorrow. And then never to discredit the teams who would have taken the longer road in entertaining us in the quarterfinals to get there. They have also quality teams. And if you look at their record over the season, you've seen that they play some good football, they put up some good numbers, and we once again see quality players coming from all these teams.
Yeah, and then the thing that I want to talk about most, though, is the crowd support. And I say that because when I follow most of the teams, in the Jamaica Premier League, and I'm seeing in terms of the support that Mount Pleasant garners from their support, but not only them, but Montego Bay as well. I mean, they lost their home turf, technically had to move to Jarrett Park, and that, even with Hurricane, did not set them back, still be able to secure a top 2 finish. Talk to me now about the resilience of that these teams would have shown throughout the season.
Yeah, two of the more resilient teams. You talk about the crowd support. These 2 teams traditionally would have always garnered good support from the fans, and they're true and true community teams. So when you see the effort that these teams put into getting their fans out on a weekly basis, and the fans are used to good football from these teams, so it's not that difficult for them to come out, and I don't expect any different tomorrow. I expect the fans to come out, pack up the stadium, expect exciting football, entertaining football. We have top quality coaches, top quality players, on a top quality pitch. It's just now for the fans to come out and give them some top quality support.
All right, and then for those who are listening and they want to know how can they get to the stadium tomorrow? How much is it to enter? You know, is it what time is the games? Tell us a little bit more for the
Kickoff.
details
Okay, so
tomorrow.
we have kickoff for the first game, Montego Bay United versus Cavalier, or Cavalier versus Montego Bay United. That's the way it's read. At 5 p.m. The gates will be open by 3. So we encourage persons to come out pretty early, get your tickets, get into the stadium. We will have entertainment, you'll have music. There's going to be vibes. The sponsors will be on site, activating, doing sampling, different activation setups will be there for our fans to engage with our sponsors. So we encourage everyone to come out early. The second game kicks off at 7:30 p.m. That's between Portmore United and Mount Pleasant, which is a big game. I think the hidden storylines in that clash, but it's a massive game, and both teams play good football, just like Cavalier and Montego Bay United. Now for the ticket prices, to access the bleachers, we use in the area we call the Little Grandstand. It's $1,500. The grandstand wing is $2,000, and the grandstand center will be $3,000.
All
So
right.
quite affordable. Encouraging all football fans to come out and just to get back in that groove of good football. We're going into the World Cup, and there's nothing better than the Jamaica Premier League to kind of get you in that energy and that vibe. Sadly, we won't be at the World Cup, but we love football.
Yeah.
And we should use the Jamaica Premier League as that catalyst to carry us into the World Cup vibe.
Definitely. And then talk to me a little bit more now, maybe within the next few minutes. I don't know if you have your sponsor list. These sponsors have been terrific throughout the season, and I'm giving you a chance to highlight a few of your sponsors that you would have had. Hopefully, we're able to have another conversation, Stephen, before the grand finals
Definitely.
next week. But talk to me. I give you an opportunity now to talk about your sponsors. I know.
Definitely. We have to always give the thanks and massive shout out to all our sponsors and partners. Our title partner, Brian Nephew. We have the league partners such as CB Foods, the Jamaica Football Federation, Sport Development Foundation, always getting the support from the Ministry of Sport. Or jersey sponsors, Admiral Sports, the official ball sponsors for the Premier League playoffs is Express Sports. We have the likes of the Ministry of Sport, always supporting. So that's from a league standpoint. And then we have our front of shirt partners, Lasco iCool, Fosca Oats, Powerade, VM, JN Money, along with a host of new partners who have come in, Liat, coming for the playoff period, Red Bull, and a host of other partners. I hope I'm not leaving anyone off the list, but trust me, we could not be where we are this season without our sponsors, and they played a massive role. They've always played a massive role in supporting local football. They keep the games going. Sunshine Snacks were on the front of shirts of Montego Bay United, who will be on show tomorrow. Our sponsors, who really would have come to the fray when we needed them. Chemtech Development, Fosca Oats, I would have mentioned, Sagicor Life, Lasco iCool, JN Money, sponsors who would have come up in a big way. And we want to say thank you to all our sponsors, and we want to keep the partnerships going for the unforeseeable future.
All right. So listen, it's tomorrow, 2 games. It's Sunday afternoon. You really have no excuse but to be at the National Stadium tomorrow. First game kicks off at 5:00, and that is Cavalier against Montego Bay United. And then at 7:30, or is it 8:30?
7:30.
Oh, 7:30, right. I'm thinking
Portmore United
versus Mount Pleasant. This is, I'm speaking with Stephen Douglas. Stephen's going to leave me now. Stephen Douglas, he's the operations manager for the PFJL. And of course, we'll also get a chance to talk to Stephen, because by the time we speak this time next week, Stephen, we would know who the finalists are heading into next week, heading into the grand finale on May 24th. But we want to big up all the sponsors, and we're encouraging everybody, Pitney, Modab, everybody. There's a space for you to come to the stadium to support local football, even if your side is no longer in the semifinals. Trust me, from the quarterfinals, I can tell you that the semifinals is going to be a fantastic show tomorrow and also Wednesday at the National Stadium. So you
And
want
just to implore,
go
babe,
ahead.
I want to slide in one point. The league's top scorer, Ryan Edwards, is on show tomorrow. This guy is fantastic. A pure strike off the ball, and definitely will be one to watch with the Reggae Boys in the coming years. So a lot of top players on the show. I can't begin to name all of the top players on show, but just letting you know the league's top scorer will be back. He had a break for the quarterfinals, and he's now back, ready and rearing to go. So
Love to hear
don't
that.
miss that tomorrow.
Love to hear that. Stephen Douglas, Operations Manager for the PFJL. Stephen, we'll talk. Thanks so much.
Yes, and thanks for having me.
No problem at all. All right. That's Stephen Douglas, the Operations Manager of the PFJL. Of course, I told you the semi-finals coming up tomorrow at the National Stadium. Be there or be square. And you don't want to be a square. Just come out, support local football. The bleachers will be open tomorrow, or mini grandstand, which is just across from the grandstand in the bleachers. It's 5 o'clock. The sun will be gone. People, come on. And of course, they have grandstand wings, and of course, the center grandstand. Fantastic vibe all around. Come out and support the Jamaica Premier League semi-final playoff day number 1. And of course, we go again on Wednesday, where we'll have games at 6 at 9 o'clock. All right, we're going to go for a second break right here on Sports Talk. When we come back, I think we're still talking about football, but let's see. We'll be right back.
Jesus make me smile again. National Labor Day Gospel Concert,
Emancipation Park, Monday, May 25, 7 p.m.
Come see John Mark Wigan,
Prodigal Son,
Jabez,
Sebastian Graham, and many more. Live gospel music at its most exciting in Emancipation Park, Labor Day, Monday, May 25, 7 p.m. When the work done, come give thanks and praise.
It's free. You're the only one.
Holtz Hardware Supplies Limited. Labor Day sale. Big discount on electrical, plumbing, household items, and selected building materials. Up to 30% discount on selected items. Conditions apply. Don't miss out on our unbeatable prices. Saturday, May 23, St. John's Road, between Ebony and Royal Place, Spanish Town. Holtz Hardware Supplies Limited. Your one-stop hardware and home center store. Saturday, May 23, 876-548-3050. 458-4949.
This Sunday, join the nation in a moment of gratitude and unity. The Honorable Olivia Babsy Grange, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, invites you to the National Workers' Week and Labor Day Thanksgiving Church service at the St. John's Methodist Church, 2 Duke Street, Montego Bay, St. James, on Sunday, May 17, 2026, starting at 10 a.m. Come and celebrate the contributions of Jamaica's workers as we give thanks and look forward to a future of service, strength, and national pride. Listen on Love 101 FM as we share this special service with you. That's the National Workers' Week and Labor Day Thanksgiving Church service this Sunday at 10 a.m. live on the family station Love 101.
Welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. I am Kathya Davis, your host. All right. So we spoke about just now the Jamaica Premier League semifinals, which kicks off tomorrow. But today, happening at the Captain Horace Burrell Center of Excellence, and that's at Mona, we will see the semifinals day 1 of the Jamaica Women's Premier League. Yes, the Jamaica Women's Premier League, that semi-final will also, that kicks off today. Semi-final day 1. Arnett Gardens will play Los Perfectos, and that game kicks off at 3 p.m. And then Fraser's Whip, the defending champions, they will take on Real Mona at 6 p.m. And of course, that's happening at the Captain Horace Burrell Center of Excellence, up there by Yui Mona. And then let's talk a little bit about how the teams got here. So we'll talk about the match results from last weekend, leading into this semifinal round. Arnett Gardens, they were 6-love winners over Proven Girls. Wi-Fi United, they defeated Yui Mona 2-1. Real Mona, and this was the game that really decided the fourth semifinalist. Real Mona, they were surprising, good 2-love winners over Cavalier, and with that was able to secure a semifinal berth. Las Perfectas, they were 8-1 winners over Springers United. Fraser's Whip, they defeated Real Mobay 9-1, while Federal United, they were 2-love winners over Mile Gully FC. And of course, as I said, the semifinals, they come up today, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock at the Captain Horace Burrell Center of Excellence, and that is at UWI. So if you want to see some women's football, this is semi-final day 1. And of course, if you want to see some women's football, please head down to the Captain Horace Burrell Center of Excellence at UWI, and you will be able to see the top female footballers on show. And of course, tomorrow you'll see the top local male footballers on show. All right, we're gonna switch gears quickly, as we're gonna go to talk about what's happening now a little bit. I'll leave the track and field for the final segment. So we're gonna talk about what's going on now for the playoffs. Yes, NBA playoffs. Is your team still in the NBA playoffs? Talk to me. Is your team still in the NBA playoffs, or has your team now been eliminated? Let's talk about first the series that is still going on. The best of 7 series between the number 1 seeded team in the East Coast, that's the Detroit Pistons, against the number 4 seeded team in the East Coast, that's the Cleveland Cavaliers. And that series is locked at 3-3, and tomorrow will be the deciding game for that series. Right. And of course, that game will take place at the Little Caesars Arena, and that's in Detroit. Right. So, let's the teams in the previous match, Detroit, they would have won 115-94 in that game. And then the game before that, Cavaliers, they would have won 117-113. And then the game before that, Cavaliers, they won 112-103. So it has been an interesting series. They've really been going back to head to head with that. Caroline says her prediction is on track. Caroline still has the West Coast finals to be OKC and Spurs, and East Coast to be Pistons and Knicks. And I think we are now waiting on this Pistons and Cavaliers to find out who will take that 4th spot, or the spot remaining for the playoffs. All right, let's see if I can get you in terms of what's going on. So last night, all right, let's talk about the game last night, because the Spurs, they played last night. They closed out their series last night against the Timberwolves. The first game yesterday was the Pistons. They defeated Cavs to stay in that series, actually, because Cavs, they were leading 3-2 going into last night's game. Pistons, they were able to win 115-94. Then the Timberwolves versus the Spurs. The Spurs, they headed into that game with a 3-2. Was that 5? Yes? 3-2 score. Now, if Timberwolves wanted to stay, they would have had to win last night, right? They would have had to win the game last night. So that didn't happen. The Spurs, they came out 139-109 winners over the Timberwolves last night. Of course, leading the way, I want to tell you about the top goal scorers last night for the Spurs. Let's look at that. The top goal scorers for the Spurs last night was Castle. He had 37 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. I mean, just a fantastic game overall for the Spurs. And of course, they are the number 2 seeded team in the Western Conference, only behind the Thunder. So, I mean, the Western Conference is finishing as we yes. Caroline says Spurs demolish and there is Anthony Davis. Ant-Man them try, but yeah, they right. It didn't. I mean, Anthony Edwards. It didn't quite happen. Didn't quite happen for the Timberwolves. I think they've had a good season. I think they can be proud of where they've come this season, but it just didn't quite click for them. And the Spurs, they just used to work with their advantage. I think the series started great for the Timberwolves, having won the first game on the road, and of course that gave them some sort of confidence. But they right. So that's what's really going on for the NBA playoffs. So I just wanna give you in terms of what we're looking at now. So we know starting on the 8th, so the Western Conference Finals, that will start on the 18th of May. That will see Oklahoma City Thunder playing the San Antonio Spurs. And on the 20th of May, the Eastern Conference Finals will start. The New York Knicks, they've already booked their spot in that final. We are now awaiting the winner of the Detroit Pistons and Cleveland Cavaliers team. And of course, the NBA Finals that will begin on the 3rd of June. So, and of course, 3rd of June, which means that 7-match series, we could be having the NBA closing out. The NBA definitely will be closing out after the World Cup has started, which will be interesting because, Americans, they don't really do soccer, right? They're thing of soccer, but yes. Caroline says Monday's first match will be interesting. She's rooting for her son team, OKC, and the MVP. The award will be announced tomorrow. Yes. The MVP season award will be announced tomorrow, which I think Shea is up to get again. Has he played? I know how the NBA season award can be because you have to play a specific number of games. You have to play a specific number of games and all of that. In not just dominating, but a lot of things will happen. Yes, she says SJ for the win, which I do think he will get it again. I really, really do think that Shea will get it again. All right, great. So we're going to go for a final break right here on Sports Talk. When we come back, we had our first Diamond League actually today in Shanghai, China. Early this morning, when some of us are sleeping, the athletes were running over there in Shanghai, China. We'll talk about how our Jamaican athletes did and just generally some of the results from the Diamond League. We'll be right back right here on Sports Talk.
Want to upgrade your home but don't know where to start? Check Home and Things. We have the deals that will do the work for you. Get unbeatable deals on tiles, bathroom fixtures and vanities, faucets, windows and doors, plus so much more. Enjoy big savings and visit Home and Things, 1215 Providence Way, Iron Shore, Montego Bay, 17 Old Hope Road or 68.5 Constant Spring Road, and get deals that will work for you.
I won't let you go till you bless me. It's a call to worship. National Workers' Week and Labor Day Church Service. Sunday, May 17, 10 a.m. St. John's Methodist Church, 2 Duke Street, Montego Bay. Let's come together to lift up the workers of Jamaica in prayer.
That you, God, you bless me.
Get your tickets now. Don't miss Come Alive, a national call to worship this Emancipation Day, August 1, 2026.
Limited special offer tickets available now
At Love 101 FM, Monday to Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Prices are as follows. General admission $7,000, VIP $22,000, and VVIP $32,000. Secure your tickets early and be part of a powerful night of worship, music, and impact.
Limited special offer tickets available now
At Love 101 FM, Monday to Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
This Sunday, join the nation in a moment of gratitude and unity. The Honorable Olivia Babsy Grange, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, invites you to the National Workers' Week and Labor Day Thanksgiving Church service at the St. John's Methodist Church, 2 Duke Street, Montego Bay, St. James, on Sunday, May 17, 2026, starting at 10 a.m. Come and celebrate the contributions of Jamaica's workers as we give thanks and look forward to a future of service, strength, and national pride. Listen on Love 101 FM as we share this special service with you. That's the National Workers' Week and Labor Day Thanksgiving Church service this Sunday at 10 a.m. live on the family station Love 101.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. I am your host, Kathya Davis, and we are in the final segment of our show. Of course, we are going to talk now about the first Diamond League for the season that took place this morning in Shanghai, China. And we're going to now go to the results. We'll start first with, I think, the first Diamond League event that was on in terms of the Diamond League would have been the men's pole vault that was won by Armand Duplantis of Sweden. Of course, Duplantis continues his fantastic form, winning in 6.12 meters, which is another meeting record. I mean, every day, Duplantis just gets up and he just jumps over 6'10" every day. It's like, yeah, he does it every day, and it's just like routine for him at this point. In the women's discus, or rather the women's shot put, we had the Jamaican there competing, Danielle Thomas Dodd. She finished 5th in that event, 19.12 meters, which was won by Jessica Schindler from the Netherlands in a Diamond League meet record, a national record, and a world leading throw of 21.09 meters. Then we were off to the 400 meters for women, where we had 2 competitors in that event won by, yes, Nikisha Price of Jamaica. You'd have known her from her exploits at the University of Arkansas, where, you know, she would have ran some fantastic times. She has now transitioned fully, I think her third year pro, or could be second year pro. She won the first Diamond League, 49.75 seconds. Of course, that's a season's best time for her. Her season's best going into the race was 51.29. She has lowered that to 49.75 seconds. And then the next Jamaican in that race was Stacey Ann Williams, who would have done some 800 meters so far for this season. And of course, Stacey Ann, she would have finished fourth with 50.59 seconds, of course. And just in terms of giving you a bit of information, Stacey's personal best is 49.59 seconds. So she starts the season with 50.59 seconds. That is definitely gonna look to maybe she will go after her personal best in the 400 meters this year. All right, we now then move to the men's 110-meter hurdles. That was won by Jamal Britt of the United States. He equaled his personal best with 13.07 seconds. Jamaican competitor in that event was Orlando Bennett, who finished fourth with a season's best of 13.20 seconds. Then we're off to the women's long jump, which was won by Monet Nichols of the United States. She leapt 6.89 meters for the long jump there. And of course, then we moved on to the women's 3,000 meters steeplechase, which was won in a meeting record and a world leading time. I mean, meeting record significant. World lead, it is the first official Diamond League, so not many people will be running, but meeting records is significant. Peruth Shemutai of Uganda, she won that event in 8 minutes 51.47 seconds. And then we're off to the 800 meters for men. That was won, another meeting record there by Mark English of Ireland. He won in a time of 1 minute 43.85 seconds, which is also a season's best for him. And then we were off to the discus throw final for men. That was won by Christian Shea of the Slovakia. 70.50 meters, throwing a meeting record for him. Competitor for Jamaica. Of course, there's a lot of stories or, switch off allegiance, but still, Roger Stoner officially still represents Jamaica. He was sixth in that event with 64.92 meters. And then we had the 200 meters women race. That was won in a season's best time for Sharika Jackson, 22.07 seconds winning that event. And it's a good way to start the season for Miss Jackson. We'd have seen her run a few 400 meters here in Jamaica before heading to Shanghai, China. Also want to highlight the return really of Shawnee Miller-Weibo. Of course, she was second in that event. She also ran a season's best of 22.26 meters. I have just a few more to go through. The women's 3,000, or what's this? My bad. Men's 3,000 meters was won in a meeting record, a national record, and a world leading time by Mohammed Abdullah. And he represents Germany. Won in a fantastic time of 7 minutes 25.77 seconds. Of course, his personal best coming from 7 minutes 37.31 seconds. I mean, that was a fantastic run, right? Fantastic run. And then we had the men's 100 meters race that was won by Gif Leotelia from South Africa. I think we would have seen him running at the World Relays a few weeks ago. He won that race in a season's best of 9.97 meters. Of course, beating out Ferdinand Omanyala from Kenya, who finished second in 9.98 seconds. Then we had the 1,500 meters for women. That was won by Berkey Hamelum, and she's from Ethiopia actually. She won that race in a meeting record world leading time of 3 minutes 55.56. That meeting record very, 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 very good to be running 3 minutes 55 at this point of the season. Just to tell you, just for just to paint the picture, her personal best is 3 minutes 53.22 seconds. So for her to start her season at 3 minutes 55.56 seconds is just to tell you what type of form she is in. Then we had the 300 meters, which is, let me tell you, the 300 meters, very entertaining, very, very, very entertaining. And trust me, Karsten Warholm and Alison Dos Santos, they definitely gave us a show early this morning. Dos Santos, he was the winner though in 33.01 meters. Yes, people, it's 300 meters, not 400 meters. So you're gonna hear the 30s, right? The Santos winning in 33.01 meters, having a world lead and a personal best in that race. And of course, Karsten Warholm was second. The Santos from Brazil, Warholm from Norway, 33.05 seconds there for Warholm. And trust me, that race, very nail biting. And I'm looking forward to see how many more 300 meters we will get. And then the day closed off with the women's 100 meters, women's 100 meter hurdles. That was won by Messiah Russell in a time of 12.25 meters, which signifies a meeting record and also a world leading time. And the Jamaicans who competed in that event, her training partner Megan Simmons was fourth in 12.73 meters, rather 12.73 seconds. And the other Jamaican in that race was Akira Nugent, who ran a season's best of 12.98 seconds. I think this is Akira's first race for the season, actually. Danielle Williams did not finish that race. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So we would have had a few Jamaicans competing with two winners coming from the 400 meters in Nikisha Price and of course from Sheriko Williams in the women's 200 meters. So we're looking forward to the other Diamond League events that those will come up. I mean, Shanghai being the first this season, usually we would have started the season with, I do believe we normally start the season with in Qatar, but of course we know what is going, the world is worlding right now, and we had to start the season in China. Xiamen, China, I'll just give you like the rest since we have a little time. I'll give you the rest of the Diamond League for the year. Xiamen, China comes up on the 23rd. Then we go to Rabat, Morocco on the 31st of May. Then in June, we go Rome, and that's in Italy. Then we go Stockholm. Sorry, the Rome meet is on June 4. We go Stockholm, Sweden on June 7. We go Oslo, Norway on June 10. Then we go to Qatar. That's on June 19, specifically Doha. Then we'll be in Paris, France on the 28th of June. On the 4th of July, can you guess where we'll be on the 4th of July? Definitely, yes. We will be in the United States, Eugene, Oregon. On the 10th, we'll be in Monaco. On the 18th, we'll be in London. On the 21st, it will be Lausanne, Switzerland. On the 23rd of August, we'll be in Poland. 27th, we'll be in Zurich, Switzerland, back in Switzerland. And then, of course, the grand final thing of the Diamond League will happen on September 4 and 5 in Brussels, Belgium. So we're definitely looking forward to what will come for the season. We also will have the Commonwealth Games as well coming up this year. So that's something to look forward to. And the other meets, the other 20 championships happening in Eugene, Oregon. So quite a bit of track and field to look forward to too for the rest of the season. That's all the time we have left here on Sports Talk, right here on the family station. I'm going to return you now to the Gospel Train with Carib. It's been a fantastic time. Of course, we do this every Saturday between the hours of 1 to 2 p.m. You don't want to miss it. And of course, if you've missed it, you can download the Love 101 FM app. That's in the App Store for Apple users or the Google Play Store. It's been an amazing time. My name is Kathya Davis. Good afternoon.